The following outline is provided as an overview of and topical guide to the metric system. Metric system: various loosely related systems of measurement that trace their origin to the decimal system of measurement introduced in France during the French Revolution. Nature of the metric system: the metric system can be described as all of the following. System: set of interacting or interdependent components forming an integrated whole. System of measurement: set of units which can be used to specify anything which can be measured. Historically, systems of measurement were initially defined and regulated to support trade and internal commerce. Units were arbitrarily defined by fiat by the ruling entities and were not necessarily well interrelated or self-consistent. When later analyzed and scientifically, some quantities were designated as fundamental units, meaning all other needed units of measure could be derived from them. Essence of the metric system. Introduction to the metric system. International system of units is the system of units that has been officially endorsed under the Metre Convention since 1960. Child articles are SI base units, SI derived unit, non-SI units mentioned in the SI prefixes. Underlying philosophy. Discussions of the underlying philosophy of the metric system include coherence, realization, metric units of measure, articles that exist for many units of measure that are related to various flavors of the metric system are catalogued below. The codes in the various columns have the following meanings: a base unit, B, multiple or submultiple of a base unit, C, derived metric unit with a special name, D, derived coherent metric unit that has no special name, E, non-coherent unit explicitly permitted for use within the metric system, F, unit of measure that has an association with the metric system, X, no specified relationship. History of the metric system. History of the metric system. The metric system developed from a decimal system of measurement adopted by France after the French Revolution. Chronological history of the metric system. Principal dates in the development of the metric system include 1792 – initiation of a decimal system of measurement by the French Revolutionary government. 1799 – the metre des archives and kilogramme des archives become the standards for the metric system. 1861 – concept of unit coherence introduced by Maxwell. The base units were the centimetre, gram and second. 1875 – under the Convention of the Metre, a new body, the General Conference on Weights and Measures, was set up and given responsibility for the new international prototype kilogram in International Prototype Metre, which replaced the old French copies as the definitive prototype metre and kilogram. 1881 – International Electric Congress agrees on standards for electrical units. 1921 – Convention of the Metre extended to cover all physical units of measure. 1960 – the CGPN published the metric system under the name of International System of Units, a coherent system of units based on the kilogram, metre, second, ampere and Kelvin. History of metrication. History of metrication. Metrication is the process by which legacy national specific systems of measurement were replaced by the metric system. Metrication in Australia, metrication in Barbados, metrication in Canada, metrication in Chile, metrication in Guatemala, metrication in Hong Kong, metrication in India, metrication in Ireland, metrication in Jamaica, metrication in New Zealand, metrication in Peru, metrication in Sweden, metrication in the United Kingdom, metrication of British Transport, British Metrication Board, metrication in the United States, plan for establishing uniformity in the USA. Thomas Jefferson's report, which included a proposal for decimal system based on a decimal foot, United States Metric Board. Historical metric system variants. 4 variants of the metric system that predate the introduction of SI are described in varying levels of detail. MKS system of units formed the basis for SI. Centimeter-gram-second system of units was the principal variant of the metric system that evolved in stages until it was superseded by SI. Gravitational metric system was a little-used variant of the metric system that normalized the acceleration due to gravity. Meter-ton-second system of units was a variant of the metric system used in French and Russian industry between the First and Second World Wars. Between 1812 and 1839, France used a quasi-metric system. Measures use ULs. History of metric units. History of the meter. Politics of the metric system. Prior to 1875, the metric system was controlled by the French government. In that year, 17 nations signed the Metre Convention, and the management and administration of the system passed into international control. Metre Convention describes the 1875 treaty and its development to the modern day. 3 organizations, the CGPM, CIPM and BIPM, were set up under the convention. General Conference on Weights and Measures, a meeting every 4 to 6 years of delegates from all member states. The International Committee for Weights and Measures, an advisory body to the CGPM consisting of prominent metrologists. The International Bureau of Weights and Measures, an organization based at Chevreuse, France that has custody of the international prototype kilogram, provides metrology services for the GCPM and CIPM, houses the secretariat for these organizations and hosts their formal meetings. Both the European Union and the International Organization for Standardization have issued directives, recommendations to harmonize the use of units of measure. These documents endorse the use of SI for most purposes. European Units of Measurement Directives. ISO, IEC 80000. Future of the metric system. New SI definitions, changes in the metric system, or more specifically, the international system of units that is expected to occur in 2018. Metric System Organizations. U.S. Metric Association. Metric System Publications. An Essay Towards a Real Character in a Philosophical Language. Reproduction 34.7 megabytes, transcript 127 kilobytes. Plan for establishing uniformity in the coinage, weights, and measures of the United States text. Persons influential in the metric system. Simon Stevan, John Wilkins, Gabriel Mouton, Marquis de Condorcet, Pierre Mechain, Pierre-Simon Laplace, Jean-Baptiste Joseph Delambre, Adrien Marie Legendre, James Clerk Maxwell, William Thomson, 1st Baron Kelvin, Giovanni Giorgi,